Hello again, this is Mr. Mayor, and I'm going to talk about a few more of the Caudill books for this year. I'm going to get right into it. First one is Long Way Down, and this one is probably my very favorite one on the list. It is a little bit more mature themes, so 7th and 8th graders, it's fine for you. 6th graders, just got to read with some caution about it because it's about a 15-year-old named Will, and his older brother is shot and killed. And they live in a rough neighborhood. And in their neighborhood, there's 3 rules: no crying, no snitching, and get revenge. So Will doesn't cry. He knows who did it. He knows who shot his brother. And he vows to get revenge. So he goes up to his brother's old room, grabs a gun that he knows is there. He lives on the 8th floor apartment, and he pushes the elevator button. And that's where this story starts. So the story is every single every single flight down, the elevator stops and somebody comes on, and somebody who has been affected by gun violence. And by the time Will gets to the bottom floor, he has to decide if he wants to get revenge or not. This is a super quick read because it's told in verse, and the whole story is told on that elevator. So just in about, 8 seconds, this whole book is. So fantastic one. After you read it, you're going to want to talk to somebody because the ending, you want to know what happened and you want to talk. Next one, if you like historical fiction and World War II, Resistance by Jennifer Nielsen. You may have read some other books by this author. This is about a girl named Chaya, and she's a teenager living in Nazi-occupied Poland. And she is Jewish, but she kind of hides that fact because, being Jewish during that time could get you sent away and persecuted against. But she wants to help. She looks Polish, and so she is able to kind of acquire a job as a courier, a messenger, to go in and out of the ghettos in Warsaw. And she meets up with another group of people that want to help as well. And soon she's smuggling food, papers, and even people through the ghettos and out of the ghettos. Soon she joins a bigger resistance cell that runs raids on the Nazi supplies. And, the more they get into it, the more danger she is into. So there's a lot of adventure. There's some mystery in it. So again, if you like historical fiction, pick that one up. Next one is a bit of a mystery book. It's called Me, Frida, and the Secret of the Peacock Ring. It's about a girl named Paloma who is 12 years old, and she lives in Kansas City, Kansas. She really has no memories of her father who lived in Mexico City. Her father has passed away, and she travels to Mexico City for the first time. And when she gets there, she goes to this museum all about the artist Frida Kahlo. So if you've taken some art classes, you may have heard of Frida Kahlo. But when she gets there, she meets some local siblings named Gail and Lizzie, and they tell her that Frida had a missing ring. And it's there's this mystery around this ring that they think they can find with Paloma's help. So Paloma decides to get in on this action and try to find this missing ring because she thinks if she finds this missing ring, that'll bring her closer to her father and kind of her Mexican heritage. But with all that comes a few bumps along the way and a little bit of mystery and trying to figure out if Gail and Lizzie are really the people they say they are. Next one, realistic fiction. Drum roll, please. This is about Melly, who is in middle school, and she's kind of always just followed the lead of her best friend, Olivia. 3 years when they were in 5th grade, Olivia decided, hey, we should join the band. And Melly says, okay, if you're doing it, I'll do it. And so they joined the band, and Melly finds out that she really loves playing the drums. Well, skip forward a few years, 8th grade, going into summer, Olivia says, hey, there's this band camp that we should go to. And Melly says, hey, okay, I like band. I'll go along with you. We'll have fun. We'll hang out together. But on the way to band camp, Melly's parents tell her that they're getting a divorce, and she is just crushed with that. So she has that going into band camp. And then once they get to band camp, Olivia kind of starts deserting her for a boy she likes. And Melly kind of has to go at it alone until she meets another girl at band camp. And she starts having some feelings that she's never had before and trying to figure out, is this just a friend, or could this be something more? So Melly is dealing with all kinds of issues, family issues, friends issues, personal issues in this book about finding yourself. And the last book, Speechless. I really liked this one. I thought it was going to be a kind of a funny book, the way it's told, but there's so much more to this. It is the day before the wake, or a visitation. Jimmy, who is the main character, is 13 years old, and his parents come to him. His cousin, Patrick, passed away. And his parents say, all right, Jimmy, tomorrow is the visitation and the funeral. We want you to give the eulogy, kind of the speech at the funeral. And immediately Jimmy thinks, no way can I do that. First off, I don't like speaking in public, but also Patrick wasn't a nice kid. Patrick was kind of a jerk. And I don't have a lot of good things to say about Patrick. And, if you don't have a lot of good things to say about Patrick, should you be the one talking at a funeral? So Jimmy, as he's preparing for this, he's thinking back to all the things that Patrick did to him in his life. And, Patrick was a little bit of a bully, but he starts realizing why Patrick may have been the way he was. And Patrick didn't have a whole lot going for him, but there was a lot of other stuff that Patrick was dealing with. This is just a great look at, there's some mental illness issues in here that they deal with, of just being a good friend. I hope you're really going to like this one. I really enjoyed this. So those are the next 5. Hope you check them out and enjoy reading.